Welcome back to the Sweetcast. I'm your host, Liam, and I'm joined today by my always host and always friend, no one, because Cameron is not here. Fear not, he is, fingers crossed, on his way. So I thought I'd start the episode without him. So when he shows up, he can just hop in and get into the conversation, because where's the fun in always doing the same thing? Let's throw him off his game a little bit. But that means for the time being, at least, you're stuck with just me, baby. Which you should be looking at as a positive. But that means that for the time being, I'm entertaining you just one-on-one. So let's talk. Let's chat. It's time to address the comments. Because I was not... I think I've said this a couple of times. And I want to explain it where it's not misconstrued. Because I know that I've said it, and I've said it a couple of times, where I'll go, I did not think this episode was going to perform well. Or I had no confidence in this episode, but I'm surprised by how well it's done. And what I mean by that isn't that I think the episodes are terrible or like anything like that. I genuinely do like all the episodes, but and I've talked about that. I've definitely mentioned this before. The Good Old Days, which is the most viewed episode on the channel. I've said I had no faith in it. I didn't think I was going to do well because for the life of me, I could not think of an interesting title. If you guys have picked up and you've been following for a while, I put some thought and some effort into titles of the episodes. I mean, let's go do some great. Let's do a couple of dives into some of my favorite. We'll start from the beginning of CAMRON being a part of it. I mean, let's actually, we can even go back earlier, to when I actually had a co-host, because before it was kind of an interview. And Oliver bought up Anime Body Pillow. CAMRON was my childhood bully. Obeying the AI overlords, which, by the way, was, in my mind, a super successful episode. So to compare it to how the recent episodes have done is crazy. Velma Hates Scooby-Doo. Liam's Villain Era. The Relationship We Made. The excellent segue episode, Liam's Planned His Death. These episodes, even coming to now, just CAMRON's Cuck Chair. And then we get Good Old Times, which gets 2,400 views, which is crazy. And so when I say I don't think this video is going to do well, or I have confidence in it, it's not that I think the video is bad. And I feel like that might get misconstrued the more I say it. So I'll take this time to address that. I just mean, subconsciously, if I have trouble naming an episode, I'm worried that people just aren't going to watch it. So color me surprised as hell when people do watch it, and love it. And I love that. I really appreciate the fact that people watch it, love it, and come back for more. So yeah, I just have to say, my hair is getting caught in the poster frame, which is actually really annoying every time I move. But I have to say, that's what I mean when I say I don't think an episode's going to do well. It's just me saying I don't feel confident about the title. So I don't even think it's the content. I just think I really screwed this episode because of this poorly written title. And then if you logically, you'd be like, oh, well, that Good Old Times, a title like that does really well. So maybe do something in the same vein, and then I do that, the video doesn't do well. So I don't know. I don't understand how the title of the podcast episodes, which is completely fine. Completely fine. It's weird talking and having no one else to talk to except for you guys. This is very much an episode of a discussion with you. So yeah, I have no idea what it takes to make an episode do really well. So I'll just keep on keeping on. At some point, we're going to figure it out, right? But let's address we've addressed that. Now let's address what's come from the views, which is the many comments requesting our feet on camera. Well, you guys got Cameron's feet on camera last week. You're not getting my feet on camera. Let's put that out there right now. You're not getting my bare feet on camera. At least not yet. Probably ever, but yet. We ended last week's episode saying we would do barefoot podcast episodes on a $20 a month Patreon. I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. Just because I think taking you guys off of YouTube to Patreon might not be the best plan. But Cameron was very into the idea, and I don't want to say never because that feels wrong, closed-minded to say never. So what I will say is Cameron is very into the idea. So you guys have convinced Cameron. But I don't want to, because the Patreon did not do well when we did that earlier for the uncensored episodes and the extended episodes. So here's what I'll say. Because YouTube has the channel memberships, that program. I think that's the right word for it. Pretty much, you pay a monthly channel membership, and then you get exclusive content, whether that be videos, emojis, special comment, any of that. But you have to reach 500 subscribers, 3,000 watch hours, and there's one other. Oh, it's like 3 uploaded videos in the past 90 days, which we've done. But we're growing. So, and I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but Cameron's gonna be super into this. There'll be more of a real conversation about starting a YouTube channel membership than there is about Patreon. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So the people wanting that, if the channel gets there to that size and gets that ability to start channel memberships, there's a higher possibility of the Barefoot podcasts. There is a higher possibility of me popping my feet up onto the table. Okay, that's all I will say for that. So if that's something you guys want, this is a give and take. Okay, you guys, we got to get to that size. We got to get to 500 subscribers and that amount of watch hours. So the ball's in your court if that's what. I will meet you guys halfway. I'll be more open to considering it if it's through YouTube than Patreon. And other benefit, you guys would get all the extended episodes from the Patreon. I would just move them onto YouTube, so you can watch everything. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. And maybe we'll bring back the extended episodes. But these are all hypotheticals because we haven't even gotten to that point yet. So if we get to that point, then we can talk the hypotheticals and get a little more deeper into it. But I'm pleasantly surprised by how well the episodes are doing recently, especially last week's. It was different. I mean, the first time that we were sitting on the couch here, which we're going to be keeping around. I really enjoy this, actually. I really like this. And I agree with one comment from about a month ago. I think we talked about this on an episode. But it was definitely chill. It was way more chill being on the same level. And it was a joke to Cameron, but I do feel like that helped. Be on the same level, be like just relaxing, chilling, sitting on the couch together. That helped. So here we are. Did the episode, and then normally what we do is we do an episode, edit. We do it a week early, edit, and then I upload, and it's ready for Saturday. If you guys haven't noticed, this is coming out later on Saturday because it's been a busy, crazy, hectic week, crazy week. But yeah, so we usually do that a week ahead, get all prepped. But it had been a couple of weeks since an episode, so I wanted to get one out for you guys. And so instead of the usual, we finished filming. I immediately jumped into editing the episode, and then I went, we've changed up the setup. Let's change up the thumbnail. So I changed up the thumbnail, and I have to say I really like the thumbnail. I hope you guys really like the thumbnail too. And I think it's one of those things of I'm always growing, I'm always learning when it comes to content creation. This is it was stepping into a new era feels weird, but stepping into a new phase of the channel makes it easier to just change everything, um, which is pretty cool. And the video did really well. But the reason I edited right after the episode wasn't for any reason of I'm gonna forget. I went camping last weekend. I think we talked about it on the podcast that I was going camping with a bunch of friends. And so we like sped through that, uploaded it. We went camping. No Wi-Fi, no cell, no connection, except at the store. But it was like we're not gonna go sit at the store. But there were some hiccups. So of the 8 of us going, 5 of us were there Friday night. One more was showing up Saturday, and then 2 of them were showing up on Sunday, which you guys will see in the vlog. Because if you watch the main channel, not just the podcast channel, but the main channel as well, that is where you see content that we talk about here, vlogs, challenges, short films. All of that is on the main channel, so check it out. It is going to be the one and only link in the description of today's episode. In my area, CAMRON will still be there, but it's going to be the one and only episode, a video channel link in my description. And if not, you guys can also go to the channel homepage, scroll down to the very bottom, and there's McMaplet. That is the main channel. Go check it out, because tomorrow at, I haven't figured out the time yet, but tomorrow the camping vlog from last weekend comes out, and I have to say it's really funny. It is really, really, really funny. So please, if you enjoyed today's episode, go check it out. Watch other videos on the main channel. Check out the short films that Karen and I have talked about. There is a whole playlist of just short films. There are vlogs. There's our narrative series called Tomorrow. There's the Living With Myself series. Go check out the stuff that me and Karen talk about so you guys have a better understanding of it. There's a lot of you that have watched. Actually, not even a lot. I can guarantee you that not everybody who watched last week's episode has seen any video on my channel, because there was more people that watched last week's episode than there are subscribers to my main channel, which is my most subscribed channel. So pretty crazy. It's a little plug for the main channel, McMaplet, in the cards, be at the end of the video, in the description, and on the homepage. Go check it out. But we went camping, so we were chilling, and I had scheduled it, so it came out Saturday morning. We were hanging out, and it was around like 2 p.m. We're like, oh, we should go check at the store so we could text her, be like, hey, like, where are you at? Like, what time do you think you'll be here? So we go to the store, and Abby and our friends, they're all handling that. I'm like, going to the bathroom and everything, and we've already gotten our directions for where we were going and figured it out. I was like, you know what? I'm really curious. I want to see how the episode did. So here I open it up, 400 views, 3 comments, and I went, no way. And I'm not gonna go read all the comments, but you guys know what the comments are if you go to the episode. You know what the comments are if you wrote the comments. I appreciate the fact that you commented. I thought it was super funny, and I was like, okay, that's crazy. Left, came back, and I think it was the same day when we went back to check on when she was gonna show up, where there was more comments. So it wasn't just one comment, like 3 comments. They happened. And currently the episode, which is just over a week of being out, is currently sitting at 697 views and 4 comments. It is one of the better performing videos, episodes of the podcast, which I have to say, I super appreciate you guys checking it out and watching it. It is weird not being here with Cameron. I don't know where he is. He is hopefully going to be here soon. This is uber strange, doing it just me. Let me just... See, camping was super fun. But I got back and just so excited to talk to Karen about it today, because we haven't actually really talked about everything from this all. So hopefully he gets here soon so we can actually chat about that. But definitely check out the camping vlog. Let me just say, I have vlogs from Shy in there. If you guys don't know who any of you guys don't know who this is, he did a little survival band vlogs overnight. We have grizzly bears showing up to our campsite, skipping rocks at a lake. I don't know, that's not the most intimidating thing, but I really genuinely think it's one of my better vlogs and one of my better recent videos. So check it out, okay? Check it out because I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy with it. Well, that's everything I had to talk about, but I gotta keep going because I've only been talking for 15 minutes. I hope you guys are not bored of me. Well, I had ideas written down. Let me go into it. Let me just discuss it. We talked about all of them. So Kim and I really just bounce back and forth. You don't feel how much you miss somebody until they're not there. Cause then, yeah, whatever. Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. We can make this work. I can pull up. Well, another thing I was going to talk to Karen about. The paper came out a week ago. And if you guys don't know what that is, let me give you a little breakdown. The paper. Let's bring it back a little bit. The Office, which everyone pretty much. I'm not going to say that. It's a little presumptuous. The Office, if you are aware of what it is, was a mockumentary series, ran for 9 seasons, about a documentary crew following this dying paper company and following the relationships and all that. 9 seasons of that, and then it ended. And there's been shows that have attempted to capture the original feel and the magic of it, and they just not all of them have been terrible, but a lot of them have fallen short of it. So when it was announced that there was a new series coming out called The Paper, it's skeptical. It's about a documentary crew following this dying local newspaper. Could be interesting. And then the bomb dropped that it's connected to the original Office show. It's the same documentary crew that's at this new paper that was originally at Dunder Mifflin, which is the company from the original show. And at that point, I went, "Oh no! Why are you connect? Why does it have to be connected? What good is that gonna do?" And then it got even worse because they did release a trailer, and guess who was in the trailer? Oscar Martinez, the accountant from The Office, is somehow in this show in Toledo. That one is in Scranton, Pennsylvania. This is in Toledo, Ohio. And at that point, I went, what is going on? What happened? So I was very, very reluctant to watch it because I went, you have this character, you've set it in the same universe, it's the same documentary crew. You're going to just constantly reference The Office, Dynamite, like all of that. You're going to constantly have cameos from characters. I almost knocked the drink off. And I just not vibing with it. And then I saw a clip last week before I had a chance to watch it. I saw a clip and I went, that's the nail in the coffin. But I was also seeing a lot of reviews. And let me put spoilers. I'm not going to talk super deep spoilers. But I saw reviews being like, it's really good, except for this one character. And I decided, you know what? Screw it. Let me give it a chance. I really like The Office. Maybe I'll really like The Paper. So I watched the first episode. It surprised me. Let's not say pleasantly. It surprised me by how much I enjoyed it. I think that they did a really good job of capturing what made the original Office such a success while also being its own thing and being a new thing and not trying to just replicate The Office. which I was very surprised about because I was really worried. And now we're getting into the spoiler territory a little bit, but pretty much, the episode starts with a little like preamble of in 2005. Documentary crew was sent to observe the workings of this paper company as they implemented new policies and personal relationships and all that. And then it goes 20 years later, they return. And this was the clip I had seen. I didn't realize it was in the beginning of the first episode. But it's them going back to the Scranton Business Park, going in, and talking to Bob Vance Refrigeration, which it was cut out. And that was cut out of the clip I saw. It was the introduction. And it was the, hey, what can I do you for? Line immediately afterwards. And I was like, they couldn't even respect the Bob Vance Refrigeration line. So look at me getting worked up over nothing. And he talks about how Dunder Mifflin is gone. It was sold in 2019 to this company in Toledo. And I was like, well, frick. Not remembering that the show takes place in Toledo. And I was like, well, frick. This is just like a weird, like, Dunder Mifflin's dead. Don't worry. We're not going to constantly talk about it and all that. I was like, well, this is the worst case scenario. Because now you're just like, yeah, it was unsuccessful. Like, you're all blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. And then it jumped to Toledo because the documentary crew tracked down the company that bought Dunder Mifflin. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, this is like going to be still like a weird thing if they come to Toledo for that and then suddenly they just stumble upon the paper. And I think it was actually really well done of setting up that it's the same crew because, and honestly, I think that it works. I will say that right now. I think it works that it's the same crew because I think it opens up a lot of interesting jokes. A lot of really fun jokes that I'm actually kind of excited to see. Because it's a very different feel to how it originally was. Because you come in and it's like they're there and Dunder Mifflin was sold to this paper company, but they make like toilet paper and stuff. And so they have this business tower, and on this floor, they have the Toledo Truth Teller, which is the newspaper. It's like 8 people. They have half of a business floor. And so it's like the Softies company, which is like the toilet paper. It's one company, Equate, I think. A parent company owns these companies. They share a floor. So it's like Softies, toilet paper, and then you got the Truth Teller. And so it's kind of like the warehouse office type dynamic from the original show. And so it's coming through, meeting everybody, and they're like, yeah, like, and it's the character, and I already got off the first episode. Her name's Esmeralda. She's a caricature. Frank, this is really embarrassing. Caricature. I think I said that right. Of like, I feel like she can be a really like leveled out, interesting character, but she's a character. Frick, she's a exaggerated picture of herself right now, which just really isn't entertaining. And I was saying in reviews, 3 episodes in, they couldn't stand her anymore. I barely could stand her the first episode in, so not great. And I get what they're trying to go with her, but I'm getting off track. So she's giving a little tour around, talking about the paper and everything, and it's like, oh, this is so exciting. And then they go, here are 3 counts, which, can I just say, for a freaking dying newspaper to have 3 accountants makes no sense. Is 1 not good enough? But it's, yeah, here's 1, 2, and our head accountant, Oscar Martinez. And he looks up and he goes, no. You would, and honestly, probably my favorite joke. Sorry, this is my favorite joke of the episode. Is he's like, no, like absolutely not. You don't have permission. I'm not signing a release to everything. Like blah 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 blah. And then it cuts to black, and he goes, you cannot use any of this footage. You cannot use my face. And they go, yes, we can. There was no expiry date on the release you signed in 2005, Oscar. And I just thought that was such a funny joke, and it was such a really interesting and like different way of addressing the fact that it's the same production company or a documentary company. I think that's really funny, and when that happened, I was like, okay, okay, this could be really good. I'm willing to give this a chance. And it went from there. The episode, it's good. It's very much Parks and Rec plus The Office because they have a set goal in mind. The Office, it's just kind of documenting their lives. And like there's like seasonal like storylines that happen, but it's nothing big. But when we got like Parks and Recreation, which is another like mockumentary type series, where they have this set goal where it's we want to build a park in this one empty lot, and that's kind of like the overarching like big plot point for a while, and they'll like deviate from it and they'll go off in completely other directions and do other things, but then they'll bounce back to it, and it's like, oh yeah, like this is the progress on this original goal, but it gives you something to follow along with. See, like you want to see them do it, you want to see them be successful with it, and so this one is the new boss, new editor in chief Ned Sampson wants to revive the newspaper. He wants to make it what it once was. He wants to bring back its greatness, which is awesome. And when they revealed that, I was like, that is the original. Like that's gonna be something is gonna keep the show going. Is it's this through line of improving the paper, but then you have deviations, and very much it could be like, oh, like very much they could do. The paper's starting to be successful, and oh, we got a big break. That was a little aggressive. We got our big break with this big story, and then it's like unintended consequences of it, and that's like a whole, and like that's the thing, is that's super interesting of a way for it to go through and do it. And I think it's a really unique way to not just rehash The Office, because there's no Michael Scott-esque character, because it's not like everyone takes it seriously, and then there's like someone who just is a joke. Everyone's kind of on the same playing field. There's like different degrees, but yeah, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I really like the banter between Oscar fully being like, this is the same documentary crew, and you're not using my footage, because there's like a little end bit credit of him being like, I'm gonna ruin this, and he just is cussing out the camera, while the other two accounts are just losing it laughing, and I thought that was really funny, because it's like Oscar being like, fuck, I'm sorry, and it's really funny. So I am cautiously optimistic to watch this 10-episode season, but I have to say, and I think this is a big reason why a lot of the other attempts, and I might be speaking out of my ass right now. This cannot be a 10-episode limited season streaming series where they put 10 episodes out. It needs to be a regular length network season. It needs to be like 22, 24 episodes long. Because this one, it doesn't, and these aren't filler episodes, they're just episodes that make you fall in love with the characters and actually care about it. And I'm worried. I'm optimistic because I think the show could be really good if they do it the right way, but I'm worried that it's going to go in the way that I expect it to, which is that it's going to be streamed on Peacock, so it's going to be A, 10 episode seasons, and B, all dropped at once because it needs to be weekly. I think it has the opportunity to replica the magic of The Office in a new era, which is a big thing for me to say because I really like The Office. It is one of my favorite shows, and it is the source of a lot of my inspiration as a filmmaker, a storyteller, and all that. So to see something that I'm actually immediately interested in and think is going to kind of do well, I really want this to succeed because I see the potential and I see the groundwork just from episode 1 of the first season, that if it was given the opportunity to breathe and grow like The Office was or like Parks and Recreation was, it would be good. And it needs those like episodes. It needs 26 episodes a season to make you care about the characters. It needs to come out yearly. And that kind of speaks to an issue with like how series have been treated in general. And I know we don't call them TV series because they're not on television. But I think we got to a point where we've lost the classic TV sitcom. And I think a big thing with that is there's a blurring line of what separates TV and film. Not that I think it's a terrible thing, but it's the idea that for some reason TV shows take 2 years to film a 8 episode limited series where it's 8 hour long episodes. I would rather it be 16 half-hour episodes or 24 22-minute episodes, which is what a lot of series are. They're 22. If you take out commercials, The Office is 22 minutes long. I don't feel like I'm speaking with my hands. I can to fact check myself. What the fuck? Sorry, I don't know what happened there. And I lost my train of thought. But I think that a lot of TV shows have become bloated in the idea that, oh, I'm going to watch this 8 episode season because it's 8 episodes, but it's also an hour long, so it's 8 hours. And we've lost the appeal of the sitcom. And I don't mind for some series to be 8 episodes long. I don't think Stranger Things, for example, would do well as a 24 episode season. I think it would drag. But a sitcom shouldn't be an 10 episode season thing. It needs to go on because you need to care about the characters, and I don't care about the characters if I only see them for 10 episodes a year, or for 10 episodes a season, and then I'm waiting 2 or 3 years. And that speaks to a lot of things. And I know this is a very popular thought, but a series shouldn't wait. Like, we shouldn't be waiting 2-3 years for the next season of a show. They should be on a yearly release. Because I don't care about coming back to watch a show if I have to wait 2-3 years for it to come out, the next season to come out. I'm gonna wait. So for a show to get like greenlit for a season 2 before it's even come out, like The Paper was, I'm willing to watch the 10 episode season because it's the length that it should be, and it gives me hope that if I'm watching it, they're gonna make the changes, and it's gonna be like The Office in terms of length of episodes and seasons, and of the show. It's gonna keep going, and people love talking about it. But I think it's absolutely true that it is ridiculous that Stranger Things is still coming out, and it's finishing its 5 season run. There is no reason in my mind that a show should take so long to film. Because, and maybe this is just me, dropping every episode at once kills a lot of the hype. But why is it that, and I've seen interviews with people who worked on like The Flash, the CW show. Post-production is being done concurrently with production of the next episode. So it's all working around. They have the pre-production, and then they start filming, and then as they film, it gets edited, and back and forth and back and forth. Why isn't that a thing that all shows do? Why are they just waiting until the season's done, and it's a month after everyone's like, wow, that was so good, and then they stop talking about it, they go, all right, we're working on the next season. We'll see you guys in 3 years. Like, I felt a cough coming on. I'm a fan of Stranger Things, but I would be lying if I said that I care about it as much as I did when the last season came out, because I don't. When you wait so long, and this is something that I see where it's like there's so many people who are like, oh, Stranger Things is my favorite show. And so when they do the whole like, oh, the Stranger Things community is starving. Yeah, they are. You're waiting 3 years for anything about the season, and I know nothing about the season coming up. It's the last season, but I don't have any. I have inklings to watch the show, but you know what I mean, in the sense of we're given nothing and expected to just be okay with it, and a series massively overestimates how much we care about it. Because I'm not gonna wait. Why am I waiting 3 years for a 1 day event? And the thing is, with like Stranger Things, I'm watching a movie every time I watch an episode. So why do you have to drop them all in 1 day? Because they're like hour and a half long episodes. That's a 90-minute film. What you could totally do, and I don't understand why they don't do this, is drop it weekly. An hour and a half movie every week is awesome. I would sign me up for that. Because then they can start production of the next season midway through the season. And then suddenly, I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, I watched the entire season today because I had to wait 3 years. And I think that's a horrible thing. I think Cameron and I talked about this before. It's a horrible progression that the TV industry has made, where for some reason the increase in production value has led to a exponential increase in time between seasons. Give me back, and like a mockumentary too. I'm not trying to be mean, but it does not require the same. I don't know. I don't even know what my point was. Like it's not easy to make. Don't get me wrong. It takes a lot of takes to have the different camera angles and everything. But I just feel like for a show that doesn't use like much CGI, like that's not a big thing in it. I feel like it's those things that justifies the wait a little bit more. Still wasn't all that much. Like I think planning is just really poor. I think the planning plays a massive role in it that needs to be addressed. Rant over. Um, Back to the original point that I started off from. I like the paper. I've liked what I've seen so far. I'm gonna watch the rest of the series. There'll likely be a video about it on my main channel. Just plugging that. I'm plugging it again because there's no Cameron here. I'm plugging the main channel because this feels like a main channel video, just very much extended. But yeah. I'll probably make a video about the first season or review because I am such a big Office guy. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, and we'll be optimistic moving forward. And yeah, check out the Office parody, the Office recreation that I made. Little plug. Okay, wow, we are going for a while. Why have I been going for so long? Where is he? Okay. Do you guys want to call him on camera? Let's call him on camera. I feel like it's okay. Here. We're gonna call it, but if he's not, I'm gonna text him. I feel like I'm gonna put him on the spot if I call him. Just give me a sec. And okay. Hopefully he responds because bad. God, are you guys even watching still? I hope you are. I hope I'm entertaining you. Oh, that hurt. I feel like this has turned from the Sweetcast into the Liam Sad Hour or the Liam Power Hour. Maybe we should come up with a name for this episode right now. Let's workshop them together. The Liam Power Hour. Strong contender. The solo Liam episode. Terrible. Liam's all alone. That's just true. Liam for you. I think we're going with the Liam Power Hour. Liam's all alone. Liam's all alone. I think this is what's going to be. And we got a text back. Liam's all alone. Cameron's not coming. He doesn't think he'll make it. So that's okay. You guys are getting an hour of. You're not gonna get an hour. How long have we been going for? I feel like I'm just. I feel like I'm wasting your guys' time. I'm kidding. I'm not. Okay. Well, this is a Liam exclusive episode. Exclusively Liam episode this week. So if you guys are enjoying it. Okay. Well, we've talked about everything. See, with Cameron, it's much easier to bounce off ideas and transition to the next thing. But with me, I got to do it all myself. I'm not used to that because I don't do that on my own. Shucks. Because I had an idea of what to talk about next. And with Cameron, I could just be like, oh, can you talk while I kind of trying to think of it? I think I've talked about this in the past. But if you guys have watched the gaming channel, yeah, I have a gaming channel too. Awesome. I'm only like one. Okay, I'm only pump one. But I have a video capture card, so gaming should be fixed. I'm actually really excited for the fact that it should be getting all better now. So hopefully, after this, I gotta go film some gaming videos because there'll be gaming videos coming out tomorrow as well. And that'll be coming out 12:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. What would you guys say if I just pop my feet up on the table right now? Just boom! Threw them up. It'd be really funny if most of you guys didn't even make it through to this point in the episode. Oh, I'm not going to do it. You guys thought I was going to do it. I'm teasing you, but I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. But yeah, I got a capture card, which was a bit of a headache to figure out how to set up. But really it was just like I was being stupid and needed a Google. But I got to figure it out. So that's perfect. Perfect. And yeah, now we're all ready to go. I have to say, I didn't realize how much of a difference it was going to make, but I've just testing and playing with it a little bit. I started picking that up. I guess we're talking about show A, show B this week because you guys seen Temptation Island? Because I have. It's one of those Netflix dating shows. I don't know. I don't think I've ever told Cameron about this. But Abby and I, we tend to watch Netflix dating shows, reality shows. They're fun. They can be fun. We watched Love is Blind, Perfect Match. There's one other we've watched. But we tried watching Temptation Island a while ago. And I could not stand it. Because it's everyone who just comes and they just come to cheat. Because the whole idea is, it's not like you're trying to find out if you have a real strong bond with each other. I don't even know why I'm doing that. The host is not British or does not have an accent. He's Mark L. Wahlberg. But pretty much, with most, you're there to find love. This one, you're there to test your love, each other. I don't know. I feel like Perfect Match does a similar idea in a better way, but not really. I think the idea of going on a dating show as a couple is just really gross. That's just my thoughts. I'm gonna watch the whole season because we started it twice now, and I've heard that it gets. I heard that if I'm going in ready to hate it and shit on it the whole time, I'll enjoy it. So we'll give that a chance. But pretty much let me lay it out. There's 4 couples that go in, and all of them, it's like, why are you here? And it's like, oh, well, we're talking about taking the next step, but we have trust issues because one of the partners have cheated. on the other one. And they're still together. They've forgiven each other, and they're making it all work. But like, we have trust issues. He's cheated, and I'm ready for you to prove it to me. Like, I'm ready for him to prove it to me. I'm ready for her to prove it to me that she's not going to cheat. Which I just think is such a fucked up intention to come on to be like, I'm ready for you to prove that you won't cheat on me by coming and cheating on me. It throws me so hard, because I'm like, what are you doing? What do you mean that's the test? Like, if you're ready to move to the next step, move to the next step. If you don't trust him, coming on and seeing him cheat is not going to work. Because immediately, they're like, do you still want to do this? And I'm like, yeah, like, I think it's really good for us. It's going to be a really good experience. And they're supposed to go into their different separate villas with a mindset of, I'm single now. I'm supposed to go on dates. I'm supposed to, all that. And immediately one of them was like, I just don't want to, I've had every guy I've been with prove themselves to me, and I just thought you were different, that I didn't have to, or I didn't have to, that you didn't have to prove something to me. And it's like, what did you expect? He cheated on you. There's one couple where they've been together a year and a half. This guy cheated on her a month in. Next couple, they were together 3.5 years. She cheated on him when she said they were exclusive. She was exclusive with 2 different guys. Another one where he cheated on her once when they first started dating, because she feels like she's second choice because he was dating 2 different girls. He's also super sexual. And the last one was, he was married. Him and his ex-wife met this girl. They were friends. He got divorced 4 months after separating. When they were still legally married, they started dating. And then he was officially divorced. He cheated on his new girlfriend with a girl at the gym. And just like, all these people, don't sound like great people. But cheating aside, why are you here? What do you expect? But whatever. They like separate into the villas. They come back, and the first couple, the one where he cheated on her a month in, they've been together for a year and a half. Literally, they hate each other. Okay, you cannot convince me that they don't, because they have a night apart. Then the next morning they have to come and they have to choose a girl or a guy to date from the singles. And the girls go first. She chooses some guy, and he goes, of course you would. He's arrogant. He's a piece of shit. And she goes, well, he has a lot in common with you. And it literally just turns so vindictive right away, where it's like, you don't like each other. Like, in what world do you think you're walking out of this together? Because you're sitting there hating each other. Like, you're very blatantly hating each other. And that's how the whole show is going to be. I can just tell. And the thing is, the thing I have a problem is, I don't find cheating entertaining. I think the other shows, what gets me for that, where it's like, perfect match, is they're single, and then they're just choosing to stay with somebody for a couple of days. They're choosing to partner up with somebody to explore the connection. And like, the whole point is, you're supposed to explore your connections with a bunch of different people until you find the connection that you want to be with. That you find your connection. And that's not crazy to me. It's just the idea of dating, and I think it's different to all come in there with the same mindset. But this show, we're all happy couples, but we're coming here to be tempted to see if we're going to be loyal or if we'll cheat. And it's just like, so what is the best case scenario for you? That you guys stay loyal to each other, or that you cheat and know for sure that you won't stay together? Like, it's the thing of, they're all in extended committed relationships, like long term. So for you guys to be like, yeah, we're coming here to date other people, it's like, or you could just date other people and break up. Because you cannot tell me that any of these 4 couples are going to leave here together. They're all going to leave here hating the other, and with a new partner, which they will cheat on, or leave alone, because they got cheated on by their partner and they just don't want to be with anybody. And that's my thoughts. I can't get behind loving a show like that. And there's a season 2 coming, and I'll watch season 1 because I've committed to it. I'll try season 2. Hopefully, in season 2, there's less, just like God, I sound like I'm an idiot. Terrible people. There's less terrible people on the show because I feel like their motivations for being there are wrong, and it's very clear that they're there to have their Netflix star moment. They're there to become an influencer. You know, I was cheated on Temptation Island, and now I'm a strong, independent person. And here's my Instagram account where I go to the gym and I post thirst traps. And yeah, I have to say, dating shows don't work. Not Netflix dating shows do not work. I can't speak for The Bachelor or other shows. Netflix dating shows are there to get views and to get a following and make money. They're not there to build relationships and help people find their connection. And I can never get behind the terminology they use in all these shows of, we're doing this experiment to test couples because we think this is we have evidence that this is the best way to find your perfect man. No, it's not. No, it's not. You don't have studies. This is not an experiment. Don't call it an experiment. Just say this is a show. This is what we're doing for entertainment. We're changing it up for you guys. Or we're changing it up to entertain you guys more. Because if you were actually interested in getting couples together, you would do the trade. Like the shows that have actually led to relationships that last would be the ones continuing, but they greenlight a season 2 of any show that gets views, and generally those are not the shows that lead to happy couples, which I think is crazy. With that, I'm gonna wrap up this week's episode of the Sweetcast, the Liam Power Hour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully Cameron will be here next week. I really thought that he was just going to pull up while I was talking and just hop in, but obviously he didn't, which is okay. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe down below, drop a like on the episode, and we'll see you guys in next week's episode. Cameron, you want to take us out? Well, I do the clap in, but he does the clap out, so do I just end the episode here? Do I clap out? Cameron, take your thing 1 week. All right, bye.